Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Welcome to this new video in which we have a lot to talk about. Because yesterday we had a bit of a sell-off, bit of a dump. I mean, in general, if you look at this, there wasn't any specific news. I mean, if you take a look at the situation for Bitcoin right now, the ETF inflows were actually still positive yesterday. We had some outflows yesterday and the day before from Grayscale, but that's minimal compared to what we saw coming in from BlackRock and all of the ETFs, etc. So that wasn't the case. I mean, I think in general it just was a sell-off, and in the end, what I always told you is that all right, we're at a major resistance level. So if you look at the daily time frame, for example, the dump we had is very minimal. Now the problem is, or at least it's not necessarily a problem, but that hurt a lot of people, is that the altcoin market absolutely suffered. All right, you can see we had a big crash. A lot of people were liquidated, but in the end, for Bitcoin so far, it looks like a normal market reaction. Now, usually though, like a drop like this, it's not the end of the world, but what you want to see is you want to see some sort of a quick recovery, all right? So what you want to see is that after we drop down, we have some sort of a V-shaped recovery, and that we consolidate and then we can go higher. Now, what we're seeing so far is a drop and not really anything, or at least a very small V. And you can also see, if you zoom into the technicals, the main resistance level we have right now is mainly 69,700, but it's basically all the way up to 70,000. So if we actually technically want to turn bullish, we need to break above that level. And to break above that level, you need momentum. I think the fundamentals are actually still relatively positive. So fundamentals, I would say, are good enough to get some sort of a reclaim like that. But the momentum for Bitcoin right now is not great. There's not anything. Now it's the weekend, all right. So we have to give Bitcoin and we have to give the markets at least until Monday that we can actually see some new volume enter the markets, and then we can actually judge whether we are able to gain some sort of a reclaim, etc. Or that it's more likely that this holds and that this will be a continuation down to perhaps the bottom of the range again, which is that level between 64 and 61,000. And that is a real possibility, all right? So take that into account. Know that that's a possibility so that you don't get too surprised if we actually get there. But for now, I think it's too early to tell, all right? Like I said, it's the weekend. I think there's a lot of bullish things around the crypto markets and around Bitcoin as well. So I would assume, I think the best thing to assume, due to the technical situation, the recent price action, the bearish breakout, and the lack of momentum, that was a mouthful. I think it's best to assume we're going to drop down lower into the 200 EMA level right here, around 68,000. It's a bigger level. It's basically between 68,400 down to 67,500. But that seems most likely right now, which, by the way, is the same level we were at Monday last Monday. So it's not the end of the world. Altcoins will be pretty volatile, and altcoins in general, I mean, if you look at this, it's not the end of the world either. Altcoins are still bullish, but even if you look at that, it's also not really gaining any momentum. So for altcoins in general, I would also expect some more bearish momentum at the very least. And then Monday and maybe tomorrow, we'll be able to see some sort of a clearer reaction, or at least a more definite reaction as to whether we can actually break back above 69,700, or that it's most likely we'll have somewhat of a pullback here. But those are my thoughts, all right? And that's what I think you need to know for now. Like I said, short term, I think it's a bit more likely to get that reaction and a bearish confirmation, as long as there's no momentum. So keep your eyes on the open interest for Bitcoin as well. Then you'll be prepared, and you'll see it in time when some sort of a reversal happens. But for now, this is what you need to know, all right? So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.